hari issue apparently olohe olwabirenda lukatwikaho katikati sie erihanga eri America ebanahamba nene erihanga eri Israel umwe atakinga kotseretaherera erihanga eri Iran. Now we're talking about the Middle East, where everyone thinks is supreme. Halo tulu hano lohe olwerera eryanzirikangania omunenenende omu Middle East. Who commands the Middle East? Now recently now mpuka nalangira irihanga eri USA ebanahamba nene Israel baka bakatwamira atakinga kucheretaherera Iran. A message ni message ichi eyire omwetahererwa leno nirihanga eri Iran, because aba president abanene aba USA bababereremwa erikola that hard decision anyway, no, let us attack Iran. But we see Donald Trump deciding to do so.
Yes, of course, Donald Trump benindora aba America abamu nebahandika Mukutungu is the greatest president in the American history. But of course that one is a debate for another day. But to obekurora Trump, since his days in campaigns, akizera hanjiri ya make America great again. Hati uwe nkomusubuzi is a businessman. Hati bulidiri ya kujamu at the end of the day na rora America eneja goveranka. Now takawira no kwezi atahire Venezuela akwasire president of Venezuela Nicolas Maduro. But if it was possible na ono Ayatollah Khomeini or Iran bokumukwasire, but I think for him it was more difficult. The only decision was to kill him. But one, ichokubanza kiringu America is setting up a very, very bad precedent. America has made the world believe ngu ekitongole kiwakuta UN is just a barking dog, but toothless. UN does not bite. Actually, what America did muberagirobiyens in international law and diplomacy musango, because it is an aggression against a sovereign state. Remember ngu America nejuna na Iran na Israel, because Israel na America bamu. Ngu Iran eberina emundu nehesa emundu ezobutwa because ekibugigi kibakota uranium. But remember abayaro diplomatic efforts abayaro hembazo ezibezigana maiso hagati ya Iran na America in Switzerland. Now for very many years, and that's why many presidents of America didn't dare to attack Iran, because they believed that the nuclear program of Iran can be handled diplomatically. But here comes Trump. Despite these efforts going on, for him he attacks Iran. But so yakabiri kiringu the supreme leader has been killed or Iran. So nikimaliza ngo Trump na sobora kurumba ihanga liona in the world and kill its president and kill its leader and nothing happens. It's a bad president. Then yakabiri kiringu, of course, the Middle East, the entire Middle East, kurugacha mukaga attacks in Standika, the Middle East era munkenke. Now, Iran is firing back. In Kogambere, Iran is not a simple country. It's firing back. Is sending missiles across the Gulf states from Qatar, Bahrain, this morning Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, among gone. There's no country that has been spared. Also including Israel. Israel, to muzzle the media, not to publish the damage that is happening in Israel, but sources from Israeli towns in Tel Aviv, Haifa in the north, Jerusalem, they are coming under attack. Now the question is, will Iran sustain? Because the deal with Trump, by 4 weeks, in 4 weeks, to have, of course, they have killed the supreme leader and top commanders in the Iranian army. But Iran, as soon as Ayatollah is killed, another Ayatollah has been put in place. One of our commanders around they have been replaced. Now you may find Ayatollah Omushiak may sustain the war. Ntubanka nka Putin rwagenzere mu Ukraine na gamba ija kukwata Ukraine within 2 weeks, but now they are 3 years. So Iran can resist and sustain this war for more than a year. What happens? As I speak now, on the world market, bei ya mafuta igezera iguru. It means even in Uganda, even a trader here in Kasese, even in Kasese, hand tuja kutunga impacts of that war. As I speak now, the airspace of the Middle East, basonyinyi kola, Qatar Airways, Emirates Air, Arab Air, Saudi Air, all the planes are grounded. And do you know what it means in terms of the economy? A plane to be grounded for like a day or two, and we don't know when this thing will end. So, to me, Ningera Trump, yes, he may have achieved his goal with Ayatollah Komenda wa Kamanda Zavani. But asabe ngurunu rutaro, rukoleki arumaleho within specified time. But if Iran resists and it drags on for more than 3 months, 4 months, I think the world economy may go into depression.
Yes, Ali, Adidasano anamachikani yako. To me, I think olohelo no tulisamaliro kwa mbande siringibiri. Because echama byaho umenyende Iran nengumayo kwa mahanga awawete deposits or reserves, oil reserves isineno ma Middle East, including Saudi Arabia. Beitu ukauka samarera emebere eyoluhi olulo siriremo alingo kwa namabuwa, and this is it was a very hard decision. You know, there are people like Trump abanga kole decision ere banga na taking rihanga nge Iran, because one echo kubanza Iran Trump akawende yikafunding terrorists. 2 yawende rihanga eri Iran lyabere ana erendera okusha policies international policies and protocols omwetunga nuclear energy. Now okolwandilo Iran yabiye ne mwana yitiyo nuclear energy yabawete ni rikolesho mabendro byabulicheru nga masenyerezi and these other industries. Beitu USA yesiale ne mwana it no abandu bano abomabirihika abanimu enrichinga uranium erlangirende bakatsukira bakakolamu ebyuma ebyerwanisya ebewete obyangaletre cyo kintu cyo butsebo kutsi atomic bombs eshengnonza abandu mu dakika buke bitu iwasamalira and because Iran bamabirikania koyo erunza butuku bunene, including eritsukuru mu butuku bwa George W. Bush, twamengero mu butuku obwa Obama, Barack Obama, Thomas mu butuku bwa Joe Biden, now twamengero mu butuku obwa Donald Trump. Bitu none of the presidents then we call a very hard decision nga Donald Trump avere nyakakola. But also the issue when you see babi branding Iran ngiri hanga erimo ba terrorists, and terrorist akabinyanga nakolesha ekironi sicyusi kimuri hakuhi erlangere ndi akakola cyusi echanzire, including eribinyanga nakolesha nuclear energy kutse rikolesha bomb eshobutwa inyakole cyusi cyabe yakanza. Betu kanarukandike kwa samaro kwa decide a USA ianze ribyanga ikakangana ya supremacy, you know, military kind of supremacy rikangane wanda mahanga kukiramu ni hanga ngeri Russia and bano no mumunyeyo. Yes, eriko bakakolisa oluhelo no ebanga bakangana ekihuwo, you know, obukugu bwabawete ebironi byabawete technology yabawete haye mahika noko wamabiulyeyo. For example, if it is Russia naye yukutse China nimwanze ekengemereria neranze ebyanga yangana irengamu nerihanga eri USA yibika kula chibi ikabakinga off, because now wamenda ukasamalera aba allies kuti amanga okakoragana nerihanga eri Iran, because China is actually the strongest ally irihanga eri Iran. They are also looking on sebaleba nakolao echusi. You're talking about Russia, you know, the East is silent about what is happening. Now, omwabusungu bunene Iran yabitsukira now eriswirya installations and assets esi USA esiri mu mahanga or mu Middle East aba allies bayi. Here we're talking about Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia was also attacked by Iran. Now, Iran ikaswirya ya esi installations esi USA esiri mu Saudi Arabia. We are talking about Bahrain. We are talking about countries like Qatar. We are talking about countries like Lebanon. Now, amahanga wosi ya Jordan okoka samarera obunkenke obusi obuli mu Middle East bwabereretwa. It is now between East and West, because when you talk about West, you're talking about USA. When you talk about East, you're talking about Russia and China. Now, what is most likely to happen? Now, amahanga oirihanga eri Iran lika attackinga installations eshirihanga eri USA. Now abiri lwao akanze kola chiri defending, and USA is also now funding those countries, supporting them militarily. Konde bakanga bakabalwera, they are repelling bomb, because ngamuli olo their drones and missiles esha usibawa uma Saudi Arabia bitusama captured by the interceptors, air defense systems. So Kikama is saying the USA is again going to spend a lot of money baka empowering these countries, the allies, because they are equally being targeted by Iran. Now, we are most likely now to see the whole of Gulf, a Gulf AOC, it can be embroiled in a war, some kind of a proxy war. Eva kanga bakalwera irihanga on behalf of the United States. So it is very tricky. Olwelo no Israel and the server. Yes, USA yakolere mistake in Israel, because one babiri bakatravera international laws, because Israel chikabwende the international law UN. It is only UN actually kakole resolution and matakinge irihanga rere. Betu kemukale atakinga, there should be justification. Either mukailwerako habituskevya amalwa kote in resolution yabirikiwako or yabitakawako mukono na Security Council. But now we are seeing here on a statement ya Donald Trump akabwende they were actually stopping a future threat. Kikama said Iran is not yet a threat, because you will see Iran nakola attempts ejeri wendi amakolechi yamashure USA yamaro yamashure. So aho USA haimani rangere Israel bakaba birukole mistake to that level. But also Iran na ilwayo ikayunziro busungu na okumahanga au kakolagana ne USA is also a mistake. Now what if, like for example, if Uganda tomabi tukakolagana ne United States, why should you blame us? Why should you now retaliate? Instead of hitting back to Washington, now you want to hit back to our allies. I think that is also a mistake. Beitu, the bottom line is, and Donald Trump, angnabia inya angnanya kakolachi no, it is not going to be a long-term solution. Yes, angna neutralizing amani au Iran, because now uko in fact today USA Israel mubakata kinga one of the major refineries, Ras Tanusara, yika producing 550,000 barrels of oil every day. Now I'm trying to imagine a refinery yika producing isha barrels mitral atano ni tano per day. It is now flattened. What is going to happen? And these impacts can actually even reach here Umarangeri, Uganda. And we still depend a lot on Mauta or Kaluia. Well, in the hour to maybe we may not be affected so much. Yes, Kasese recently Moikanavia Ikalabaya President Museveni overwhelmingly Yamala na MPs of NRM overwhelmingly. Even in the district council, we see majority are NRM councillors. No kwa level ya chairpersons LC3s, still NRM has majority sub-counties. What does this mean? Kikama nyisayachi kwa luhande olwe NRM nayo. What next? Ndo babere koma, part NRM yama painting the whole of Kasese district yellow. What does this mean? Kande ibonga ndo Kasese now bakaba machi obamubati. What should they expect?
Yes, galamazima ngu NRM mukarura kanyakuhoire rundi kwa mwaka gunu esingire entebe zona ha parliamentary level because antebe mukageza parliament NRM zone kaswipinga. Then wargo kubaza council. Yes, it is true, the LC5 chairperson is NRM, but also council enyakuina ba councillors almost in Sanjana Mukaga, opposition only has 13. Now at the sub-county level, tuina magombora na nana 44 sub-counties, opposition only has 8 sub-counties. So entebe zona is swept by NRM. So one, nikimanyisa angu the mobilization team ya NRM was better organized in terms of resources, mobilization, even the quality of the mobilizers. Remember ngu abana bahan from General Mbadi, Brigadier General Mawa, Kabyanga, Honorable Maurice Muhindo, Bona, they came back here on the ground, back on the mobilization, and they have delivered. Now, two things. Nikimanyisa ngu nka NRM ngekitebe kinyakulimbo mbezi ekikutamininga umugate gwihanga the national cake. It means now kanu ka kaire kurangu services in Kasese, government concentrate services that in education. We expect our schools to be uplifted, we expect the hospitals to be upgraded, we expect the roads to be made, bridges, electricity in the energy sector as a reward for the support abantu bakasese bayire NRM, especially President Museveni. But also in terms of deployment, kanu kakaire nambere the president has to reward especially districts is nyakuhaire obururu. Remember, he got almost 70% national weight, but Kasese he got almost 60%. So nikimanyisa ngu we want to see in the cabinet, now that we have 2 ministers, they are all state ministers. Now, can we have a cabinet minister from Kasese, possibly Honorable Chiyonga, but also can we have Mbadi, General Mbadi and Honorable Kabyanga maintained? Basobo Tabagara in the ministries they are in now, but they can give them other ministries. Now, can we see some of the Kasese people being elevated in government ministries, in agencies and departments? We have excellent guys at Rukoki who qualify in ministries. Can we see them being elevated? Can we have more commissioners? Can we have more assistant commissioners? If possible, can we have a PS from Kasese? Actually, in Biafayo, Kasese, we have never got a PS. The nearest person was Eseringene. He was an undersecretary in the Ministry of Constitutional Affairs. So, now, they're going to deploy RDCs. We don't have more than 5 RDCs. We can mention them. Joshua Masereka, Polkeria Muhindo Jen. Now we have assistants Mubingwa, yes, and Magwara.
Yeah.
Now, can we have many Kasese Abaingi posted as RDCs? We have cadres here, the likes of Kamala, Kariasa. They have done Mukoto in mobilization. Can they be rewarded? Can we see many Kasese people being appointed as deputy RDCs, as assistant RDCs?
Yes.
As part of rewarding.
Yes. So
that because Muntu Natungamani go Koranamani, and possibly in 2031 we may deliver more.
You see, NRM all along, you look when the Kasese yikakuma nawe. That has been the narrative. But now that Kasese now really lie you kangani chuo and it is doing it's standing now NRM. I think bunubo butuku ganasi ese no research kwenda mbere ikakolwa omubutunga bunu because appointments reshuffles kabaneka rekolwa. I think this would be a better time elangerende Kasese ngokuwa namabuwa yikabya considered kutsevu. For example kokalangiranga Honorable Kabyanga Godfrey Chime, State Minister wa ICT in charge of national guidance, wamekandeke okwa Thanksgiving. I don't know whether you still remember. I was there.
Course, yes.
That was last year but one.
Oh yes.
That was 2024 okwa Kaguta grounds Lutambi area. Honorable Kabyanga mwabwende akalete narrative a story yiwe ngokwatunga appointment eyeribya minister ewa President Yoweri Museveni amakangania ngokone chindwa bishali chi expectinga nero makangania ati yo sha wait echangaria President Museveni akamusima indiale wechaka yakola indicho kubanza ha Museveni akaesawa na you know hakende sawa indichi akende kola erisima President Yoweri Museveni yeri mobilizinga a district Kasese langerende bakasa muherera yobulolo echibo echitere chikusula bule nobundo bukatongera hesi. And barely a year after we are seeing ebya Honorable Godfrey Chime ebya kaneka promising in broad daylight bya mahikerere Kasese is now yellow chenu chiwoteru chikakangana and Honorable Kabyanga Godfrey ama fulfilling a promise eyakola emberesha President Yoweri Museveni and I'm hopeful and of course the state is watching. State is watching. Abanasi obule mundu echabira endaka performing echabira endaka kola eri consolidating a support chama HNRM. We are waiting kumove tuko butepo hale tulindire swali ngini kindi abira hwamu tukendibye tukasamara now embenduka mu cabinet no mu agencies placements ebikenda enda bakakolwa. Otherwise Ali, it would be better because ngatia umakasema hantu amaberetunga cabinet ministers at least ngababere 2 cabinet ministers like 2 because those ministers were coming President Yoweri Museveni every week bakabi babiri kalomaro kuratuluma cabinet meetings aho mukamenya muti issues zese Kasese sikahika direct o mushakolo ese siwo tasema college asha vere isikakita. Now let's push back to a issue USA Israel attack.